Okay, just imagine. You're driving on the road, listening to your favorite music or your favorite song, your windows down, you're enjoying the weather, and all of a sudden you hear a loud pop, and your steering wheel starts to shake, and you're like, oh man, what is that? Chances are you have a flat tire. So today I'm going to discuss some safety with changing the tire, some tools required to change a tire, some steps, go over some steps, and then what to do after the tire is changed. Alright? How to change a flat tire. Okay, before we get into this, I'm talking about a little bit of safety. First thing a lot of people do when they hear or they think they have a flat tire is they pull over immediately. One thing a lot of people don't know that the vehicle is still drivable at very low speeds, but a vehicle is still drivable with a flat tire. So what I suggest you do is to drive to a safe place and change your tire. Don't just pull over just anywhere, because a lot of times people don't think. You be on a corner or on a turn, and someone comes up around the turn, they will not see you, or you're into the road itself trying to change a tire. So go ahead and drive that vehicle, however much it takes to get to a safe place, because I bet you that your family would rather replace that wheel than to find out that you were struck by another vehicle trying to change your tire. Alright? And other safety, you don't want to change the vehicle, or you don't want to change the tire on an incline. You want to try to get a flat spot as possible. Try not to do it in the dirt or the mud or sand or anything like that, or grass, because once you start to crank it up, the vehicle with just a small base of the jack will sink into the grass. There's other ways to go around it, but with what you have, I would suggest not doing those things. Okay, sometimes the parts will vary between vehicles, but most of the time it's the same. Right here, this is the picture of a car. Most spare tires are located in the rear, in the trunk of the car, underneath the carpet there. With that tire will be the jack and the tools required. On a lot of SUVs, the tire is located underneath the vehicle, so that tire needs to be lowered down with the tools that are given with the vehicle. So here's a picture of the tools. You have your jack, your wrench, and then your spare tire. This is an example of what they call a donut. Some vehicles come with full-size spare tires. Some vehicles come with donuts. Donuts are not to be used for long terms. These are just temporary. You see a lot of people driving on the interstate with donuts. That's a big no-no, because those vehicles or those tires are not rated for speeds that high. So that's not a daily use tire. If you have to put one of those on, you want to try to get to your tire dealership or a tire shop as soon as possible. So go ahead, get everything set up, get your tools out, and then you want to go ahead and start loosening up the nuts on the tire. You want to go ahead and do that with the tire, with the vehicle still lowered, because sometimes these nuts are very tight. And you want to loosen them up in a star pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Loosen them up in the star pattern so you remove that tire evenly. If those nuts are real tight, you can go ahead and use some extra force, some extra leverage, like this guy's doing right here. Put the wrench on, use your foot to loosen up those nuts. Alright? So once they're loosened, you don't want to loosen it all the way, but we'll just break the torque or break the tension on it. Go ahead and place your jack underneath the vehicle. There's some vehicles have little notches of where the jacks are supposed to go. This is the frame of the vehicle. So you want to put that jack where it can support the weight of that vehicle, and more than likely it's the frame of the vehicle. You don't want to put it on any plastic parts or something like that, because once you raise that vehicle up, those plastic parts will break. Here's another photo of a jack on the frame of the vehicle, flat surface. Frame of the vehicle is actually jacked up a little bit. You can see the space in between the tire and the ground there. So go ahead and raise that vehicle up, keeping an eye on the jack and the vehicle to make sure it's not going to slip off. I've actually seen a vehicle slip off a jack once it was raised up. So you want to keep an eye on that. Raise it slowly. Hopefully no jerking motions, just raise it up, constant movement. Once that vehicle is up, You want to go ahead and loosen up the rest of the nuts, remove that tire. Keep in mind that that tire has a flat spot on it, so that the vehicle will not have to be raised up as high to put the tire on, the tire with the air. So you might have to raise it up higher to put that tire on because the flat spot, less space. So you want to go ahead and you might have to raise that vehicle up a little bit higher to put that tire with the air in it on. So go ahead and put that tire on. Once that tire is on, that's the vehicle with the tire removed. See the jack, tire removed. Go ahead and put that spare tire on or the donut on. And you want to tighten those nuts up in the star pattern also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and tighten that up in the star pattern, and that is with the vehicle raised up. Go ahead and use that wrench because you don't want to put any weight on that tire because then you won't be able to tighten it up evenly, or the tire will lean out because of the weight of the vehicle. So go ahead and tighten it up. Not as much as you can, but just tighten it up to where you're using the wrench. All right. Then going to lower the vehicle a little bit to where, or not even a little bit, but lower the vehicle to where that tire comes in contact with the ground, not supporting all the weight, but supporting some of the weight of the vehicle. And then tighten up the rest of the nuts completely. When you're doing this, you would want to recheck your tightening, because sometimes if you tighten like number 3 right here, number 4, number 2, or 6 will come loose because you're tightening that wheel down, and it tightens one side down, the other side comes up. All right. So everything, you got everything tightened up. You lower your vehicle the rest of the way. Double check your work. Pick up all your tools so the next time you have to change your tire, you have everything required. I would suggest put everything back where you got it from so that you will know where it's at. Go ahead if you have time, if you're capable, or not even capable, but if you have the opportunity to go to a tire shop right then and there, I would suggest you go to a tire shop. Go ahead and get that tire, that flat tire, either fixed or replaced. If you have a spare on that vehicle, you would want to get that. If you have a full-size spare, you can leave that on, or if you have a donut, you want to get that donut taken off and get the full-size put back on. And then go ahead and get everything put back where it was. Get your donut put back in your trunk. If you have an SUV, get that spare tire put back underneath the vehicle so that you're good to go next time. All right? All right, so that's pretty much it. Your tire's changed, you got your flat fixed, and you're done. So drive safe. You really don't want to be stranded out there. You see a lot of people out there where they're just sitting, waiting. I wouldn't suggest that I'm always a go-getter, go do it type person. So, I would suggest, take the opportunity. Go look in your vehicle if you have some time. Go find out where your tools are at. Go find out where your spare tire's at. Go find out if you do have the tools. Some people buy used vehicles and they don't have a jack, or they don't have a wrench. They don't even have a spare tire. So you want to go check that stuff. Make sure you have air in your spare tire. So if you have the opportunity, or if you think about it, go ahead and do that. So you get familiar with your tools. If you have the time, go ahead and change the tire. Change it out. See what it's like. See how much pressure you have to put on those nuts to get them off. All right. So everybody drive safe.